Hey all, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it may be for wherever you are. I am Stephanie Joy with all things Social Security and the Joy Disability Law Office. Your video is about to start. I wanted to remind you of our live Q&A sessions here on YouTube as well. They start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's a little earlier for you Western folks. And I look forward to seeing you there. It's a first come, first served basis in terms of the questions you might want to pose in the chat. And I will pick them up going from beginning to end for about a 2 hour period. So, anyway, I hope to see you there. Have a great one, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, something happened here with one of my cases that I think happens to others. It might be more on the less frequent side because I think it is a percentage of randomly audited ALJ decisions. So we had a hearing in early February. It went very well. It was an older individual. I mean, it was surprising that we had to go all the way to hearing, to be frank. But so we had the definite idea that we had prevailed and that it was likely a fully favorable. And then I get this notice that when the decision gets put up into the file, we don't get a notice about that from the SSA. You're either sleeping inside each of your cases always and looking at every second of every day, or you just wait for it to come in the mail. But I do subscribe to this other service where they can grab a file, they baits it of sorts, they OCR it, they get each exhibit, they label it as the exhibit and page 1 of 50 of exhibit 1F, that kind of thing. So it's really, really helpful. And it's affordable, it's reasonable. And one thing that service does also, if you have a case upon which a decision has been rendered, and I think that would be ALJ decision, not at any stage before that, I don't think. I'll get an email that says a decision has been made on a case, or it might even say which case. In which case, then I can go into the electronic file with the SSA and find the decision. Yeah, or I can ask them to download the file from the SSA again. But I don't necessarily want to do that because I just need the decision. So I'll just go in there myself now that I know it's there. So I had already the notice that there was a favorable award a couple weeks ago. And that was great. It was what we anticipated, etc. Well, this morning I have an email saying uh, there has been a decision made on so and so, and it usually will say dash favorable or I don't know if it says unfair. I think it might say unfavorable when it's unfavorable. Like that's all they give you. They don't actually give you the decision. This particular company, then you have to go get the decision, but you have the notice to go get it. You know that there's something there. And I'm like, it said other. Like where favorable would have been, it said other. And plus, we'd already gotten the favorable notification, right? And I had downloaded the judge's decision. So I'm like, other, what does that mean? What are they talking about? I already have a favorable decision on this case. So I went into the electronic file, and now instead of saying hearing level, it says appeals council level. Well, you don't appeal a fully favorable decision to the appeals council, right? Because it's fully favorable. You don't want to appeal anything. So my educated guess would be that the appeals council, which has the power to sua sponte, pull any ALJ case and look at it and decide whether to review it. And so I think that's what they did. Now, it said there was a decision other. That's how it was titled, other. There was no appeals council decision in the electronic file, which was kind of relieving because I was like, what are they gonna do? I mean, are they gonna, if it doesn't say unfavorable, and I think when the appeals council does this, guys, if they're going to change what the judge says, they can't just change it and then deny the person or make an unfavorable decision. They think they would have to remand it back to the judge and say, you didn't do this, this, and this to come to that conclusion. So please have another hearing and do that. So I I'm hoping that yes, it was a random audit. You can't help that. Eventually you're going to get hit with one. And they hopefully decline to review. Hopefully that's what the other is. Um, it went to them, they declined to review it. It's like they can do a decline to review if I appeal to the appeals council on a case I lost at ALJ hearing. And they have a high rate of declining to review. And then they remand somewhere between probably 10 and 15% as an overall. So I don't know. Fingers crossed. I hope it's the random audit. I can't believe it could ever be flipped. Um, and then they didn't remand it for another hearing because they found everything nothing to be violative, that the judge did all the steps he had to do before coming to an award. So that's my fingers crossed that that is what it is. Um, my client messaged me through our portal this morning and said, um, I saw a status change, but I don't see anything. Do you know what's going on? And I don't, but I said, I think maybe it was a random appeals council audit. And, you know, I don't want to say anything one or the other because I don't know, but I'm sure we're going to know soon. But, and it's funny because I believe the printed decision was mailed out. I have to ask her if she received one in the mail. I mean, oh, in fact, I see it right here at the top of my file. Yes, we did get a mailed one. So, but it just goes to show when they say in the ALJ decision, and I'm going to read you this language. It should say someplace here that the appeals council may review my decision, and within 60 days they can pull it to review it. I don't see that language though, but I've seen it in other ones. Um, Anywho. Yeah, the appeals council can do that random audit, pull it, and see if the judge followed the rules to make an award. If it's a denial, obviously, usually the claimant appeals to the appeals council, unless he's going to refile, and start afresh. But anyhow, just wanted to let you know that. I hope it turns out okay. I hope it's just yeah, we pulled it for audit. We declined to review it because it looks fine. Phew, out the door. Here she goes. She gets paid, and we're all done. That's my that's my hope and prayer. All right, guys, I just want to share that with you. That would be the appeals council, likely random audit process. It was my turn. All right. Bye, guys.